I don't read new releases. But there is an exception to every rule. The first time that I was anticipating a new release, it was a new experience for me. I tended to read older books, things that had been out a while, series that were completed. This was probably mostly due to my main access to books being books that were already on our family bookshelf, books that I saw on family members' bookshelves, library book sales, garage sales. I never kept up with new books freshly coming out. But the first time I did, there was this new author putting out these dragon books that I thought were so cool. And after I read the first one, I went and bought the second one. And after I read the second one, the third one was not out yet and I had to wait. And it was Brizinger by Christopher Paolini. This is the first book that I had to wait for it to come out because it wasn't out yet. That was an experience that I was not used to. When I was much younger, after reading The Hobbit, in the back it said, if you enjoyed reading about hobbits, try these books. And it was The Lord of the Rings. All three of The Lord of the Rings had been out for decades. I was able to go find the Lord of the Rings books. And you know what? I didn't really like that feeling of, I want to read that book, but it's gonna be 2 more years. I have since gotten more into the book world, discovered new authors, and have had to wait years for the next book to come out more times. But it's not that feeling of waiting that makes me not want to read new releases. There's other reasons. One of the biggest ones is just that I can't keep up. There are so many new books coming out all the time. I'll never read them all. Never. It's hard to even know what's coming out that I would like. I do follow some booktubers and some bookstagrammers whose opinions I respect. Even if they only have 5 anticipated releases for the next month, I'm not gonna read 5 books in 1 month. I could spend all my free time reading and still never keep up. And I feel like that is a lot of pressure. Knowing that there's more than you could ever read, knowing that you'll never read them all, feeling like, well, which one do I read? Feeling like maybe I have to because it's all over social media. This is what everyone's posting about. At the time of this recording, that book is Fourth Wing. Adult fantasy dragons. It's just the kind of book that looks like should be what I would love. The book itself is beautiful. It's golden with these pretty sprayed edges with dragons along the side, and I'm seeing it posted about everywhere. You would think that a person with a booktube channel would dive in and say, yes, a cool new book to read and review and talk about. That'll get some attention to my channel. I'll be part of the conversation. But at the same time, would I have chosen that book? If I were looking through a list of new releases, would I have gone, yeah, that one? Or would I feel like I have to read it because it's what everybody's reading? I don't want that pressure of feeling like I have to keep up, feeling like I have to read certain books because everyone is reading them, feeling like it's a money trap. Because my library doesn't have it. If I want to read it, I'm gonna have to buy it. And besides being a money trap, there is that kind of, when you have a booktube or bookstagram or book talk, you kind of feel like you have to have those books on your shelf. The popular ones, the pretty ones, otherwise I'm not for real. Am I a credible booktuber if I don't have all the popular books in good condition, brand new, beautiful art sitting on that shelf? I don't want to have to feel that way. I'll buy a book if I want to buy it. And you can probably get a sense of one of my other reasons that I don't like to read new releases, and that's a little bit of my sense of rebellion. People who know me in person can probably tell you that I will often choose not to do something just because everyone else is doing it. It's okay. I have embraced that part of myself, and if I find that I am just rebelling for the sake of rebelling, I'll try to decide if that's really a good reason. It is part of who I am. But if a book is really good and I'm like, I don't want to read that just because everyone else is reading it, but everyone's saying it's so good, then I'll decide I have no real reason to rebel and it's okay if I read a good book if it's a good book. And then there's our old friend FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. Back when I was looking forward to reading Brizinger, the next of the inheritance cycle. There wasn't all the social media presence and the social media pressures on reading. I think Facebook itself was really new. This came out in 2008. Facebook was very young at that point, and then after Facebook, all the other social media platforms started emerging and getting popular. So there weren't those groups of people all anticipating together, reading it together, posting their reviews, commenting about what they liked about it. Now there is this feeling of inclusiveness. Like, if I read a new anticipated release, I can be part of this community. I can join in the discussion. I can be part of this. And I don't want to miss out. And there's these people reading this book, and I feel like I have to read it so that I don't miss out. And I don't want to feel like I am perpetrating the FOMO culture, like taking part of it in such a way that I make other people feel left out of what I'm doing. Nor do I want to feel like I have to, like, be on this race of reading to keep up with other people. I've never been that way in social situations. I don't want to be that way in my reading either. I want to read what I want to read. If I see other people reading a book and it looks good, then I might read it. If you are looking for a booktuber that keeps up with new releases and recommends new releases and reviews those new releases, this is probably not the channel for you. That's just not going to be the booktuber that I am. I'm going to reread my old favorites. I'm going to read old books that have been out for a long time. I'm midway through the Wheel of Time, and I'm going to try not to let the pressure pull me down, try not to feel left out. The new release I am looking forward to the most right now is probably book 5 from the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I am anticipating that release. I've been waiting for years. I am part of groups on social media that also love these books and love this author, and I don't feel pressured. I don't have a fear of missing out on these because I know those fans of those books are going to be around for a long time and be fans for a long time. And if I'm behind on that new release, it's okay. I'll read it when I get to it and I will find my people. Comment for me if there is a new release you are looking forward to, or if you're happy to browse the shelves at Goodwill and see what's on sale and that's what you'll read. Here's my video, if you haven't watched it yet, on why I don't usually read YA books. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye!